Hey, Thursday night in October, you know what that means. Pro football. Oh, wait a minute. I need a wardrobe change. Taking off the Grateful Dead. Putting on Parks Casino.
Nice.
TC, Denver is a 3.5-point favorite hosting Indianapolis tonight. Do you have a vibe?
Yeah,
Denver, Indy, Denver.
I'm going with Denver because
Hold on. Let me log it in. Let me log it in right here on my BetParks app. Why?
I love Denver. I just love the whole city.
The team.
Yeah. Oh, yes, that too. Just go with the vibe, okay?
Are you feeling it? You're feeling it for Denver.
Click.
Also, pro baseball playoffs are starting tomorrow. Wild card round. Philadelphia ended an 11-year drought, are in the playoffs at St. Louis all weekend. Best of three. Perfect time to get in on the action. The all-new BetParks app, digital casino and sportsbook for Pennsylvania and New Jersey. It's the only casino and sportsbook app that I recommend. Live in-game betting. Bet all your favorites. Play your favorite casino games for real money. Download on the App Store, Google Play Store, or at betparks.com right now. Got to be 21 and in Pennsylvania or New Jersey. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Time now for the headlines from Smerconish.com, the newsletter. The must-read of the day on the all-new Smerconish.com. How could I not go with the Philadelphia Citizen story, thank you, about the Unconvention?
You have to go with that.
The Unconvention coming to town.
And when is it coming to town, Michael?
Tomorrow. Which means, travel safely for those of you who are traveling from far and wide to come to Philadelphia. Travel safely today. Thank God the weather has changed after 4 or 5 straight days of rain and dismal weather. It's beautiful, and it's going to be beautiful tomorrow.
Yeah, it really does help with everything, not just our moods.
Changes my attitude.
But I was going to say,
definitely does.
Not just our moods, but also I just love it that people who are coming from far and wide are not going to be rained on, and we're thrilled.
We think it's going to be great.
I think it's
fingers crossed, and thank you to, well, I'll read the story because it references my partners in this. The most radical thing about the Unconvention, Michael Smerconish is hosting at the National Constitution Center on Friday with the Bipartisan Policy Center and Unite America, may be just exactly how unradical it intentionally is.
Right.
The CNN anchor, SiriusXM radio host, explains it this way. There never seems to be a gathering of people who are not at the ideological ends of the spectrum. What about us? The silent majority, the exhausted majority, the 42% who are not D's or R's but I's. Smerconish and his partners have created a day-long examination of ideas and solutions that speak to the middle of the American political spectrum. Speakers include former RNC Chair Michael Steele, State Representative Jordan Harris, Princeton Professor Eddie Glaudet Jr., and retired United States Navy Admiral, and I would add, Supreme Allied Commander of NATO, James Stavridis, along with journalists, academics, community organizers, and election reformers. The event takes place October 7 and is free to attend virtually.
That's right. We have all these virtual delegates that are lined up, and so we have people watching from afar. We have people in-house, and we just can't wait. And we'll be broadcasting from there tomorrow.
As will Steve Scully.
As will Steve Scully.
So like right here on POTUS,
right,
you're going to get a nice healthy dose of what's going on, and you can stream it all.
Right.
If you want to
well,
watch.
that's what I was going to say. It's kind of cool because there's all this going on around you, and then you'll be broadcasting from the Kimmel Theater, which is like this nugget in the middle of the National Constitution Center in the round.
Right.
Yeah. So
but I'm like a rock band. I don't want people seated behind me.
No,
okay.
Tommy will take care of all of that. He is on site, and he will be, he and Blake are in.
Come say hello, drift in, watch the radio program.
You don't have to stay there the whole time.
No, go back to the main stage, watch Steve Scully, go back to the main stage, drift in and out. Check it out. Go outside, get some air, and see the Liberty Bell and Independence Hall and the American Jewish History Museum, which I always screw up the title, but it's wonderful.
Right there.
Right there.
Yep.
Museum of Jewish History. That's what it is. A lot of stuff right in the neighborhood. Okay, yesterday, I liked this because this was the first day. Yep. Did you notice this?
Oh, yes, I did.
First day that people could vote on the all-new Smerconish.com website.
It might be a record.
16,548.
Thank you.
And a lot of really nice comments. Thank you for the comments. I like that you appreciate how much work, effort, and money went into creating the new site to make it a more user-friendly experience, and it's going to get even better. We're still tweaking. We're going to be tweaking for days.
Well, and I have to say that I know I shouldn't say this, but I'm most enjoying the merch comments. It is just because they're so funny, and people's reaction to the merch offerings, Michael, are a riot.
You're loving that the TC tank top is selling so well. TC Strong, as it's called.
Well, I have to say, I feel very cheered by that, and I am very encouraged by the fitness level of the ladies in our audience. So thank you.
Well, maybe they're not that fit. Maybe they just want to wear your shirt.
I think it's fantastic. Yeah, but show off, man. Go get with it. But thank you. Yes.
The merch is intended to bring you joy.
I mean, yes,
it is.
It is the KonMari of merch sites.
Yeah, I mean,
and the dog toy. People are going crazy.
The
about
dog toy, the Sharpies,
the mug,
the
cigar cutters,
That's right, and the T-shirts.
The T-shirts. Oh my gosh, that lightning
round.
The
lightning round.
I think that one's very special.
The purple tie-dye lightning round T-shirt says you're in this community.
Yeah.
Yesterday, 16,548 votes cast. Will the abortion claim doom Herschel Walker candidacy? The no votes, 55% and change. Of course, today, new revelations, or maybe I should say allegations, because the woman who claims that she had an abortion after impregnated by Herschel Walker and that he paid for it, you know the story by now says, well, we did have a child together. That a few years thereafter, we did have a child together. Quote, I was stunned, she says, about his denial, but I guess it also doesn't shock me that maybe there are just so many of us that he truly doesn't remember. But then again, if he really forgot about it, that says something too. The Daily Beast, again, owning the story, revealing that the woman who was not named, it's like trickling out every day.
Come on. Yesterday,
when do we meet her?
Okay, well, you said that yesterday, and you had said something like, where are we now? 48 hours. And I said, well, the clock's already started. But now, okay, so let's say starting from now, when do we think?
When do we see her?
Yes.
By Tuesday.
Whoa, that's way ahead. What?
By Tuesday.
What do you mean Tuesday?
I hope she waits until after the Unconvention to come forth.
Oh, that's your metric?
The Daily Beast revealed that the woman who was not named was so well known to Walker that according to her, they conceived another child years after the abortion. She decided to continue on with the later pregnancy, though she noted that Walker, as he had during the earlier pregnancy, expressed that it wasn't a convenient time for him. So said the Daily Beast.
Oh, my.
Yesterday, I reported, and we have a story about Herschel Walker's son, Christian. He's the son who's like taking on his dad and saying, you shouldn't be running. This is an embarrassment.
Very popular on social media, Christian
Right. Who
Walker.
are you to be talking about family values? The son said in a piece that I quoted yesterday that he has 4 different children from 4 different women, wasn't around to raise any of them. What I don't know is this one of the 4 or is this like number 5?
It doesn't say.
We don't know.
It doesn't say, but it does say, I think it said that he had acknowledged that child and had taken a paternity test. So if that's the case, it must be one of the 4.
It's very confusing. Right? I got to see it on a flow chart. I don't know. I don't know,
well,
like on an ancestry chart.
You called it early. You said that this is all crazy, but it's not going to affect any votes.
Yeah, I left the door open for that to change because I didn't know yesterday that he actually fathered a child with this woman. And if this is just like a drip, drip,
does that make the abortion more legitimate, like the abortion claim?
The fact that she had the child later.
Then why would she lie about the...
Oh, yeah. I think it all strengthens her credibility
so do I.
if they had a child together.
So
okay, today's poll question.
Yes.
Today's poll question, and this is what I teased in the so-called thumbnail for our YouTube video. Did OPEC Plus cut oil production hoping to politically harm Biden and the Democrats? Or said differently, the football just bounced again. I mean, sure, they did it for profit, but they had to know that we're less than 5 weeks away from the midterm, and this could really sting Biden and Democrats. And I'm asking whether that was really the motivation. What I'm talking about is the first meeting of so-called OPEC Plus in person since COVID. They cut 2 million barrels of production per day. That equals about 2% of global oil production. The world consumes about 100 million barrels per day. Cutting the production of crude limits the supply of gasoline and, therefore, drives up the price. Who's it good for? Russia. You know, we've been seeking to choke off their ability to fund the war in Ukraine. it shows that OPEC Plus, I think, cares more about the price and profit than it does making a statement about Russia in Ukraine. And it's a huge thumb in the eye to the Biden administration, especially where not only are we less than 5 weeks away from the midterms, but you know that during the course of the summer, the president, tail between his legs, went to see MBS during the campaign, having called him a pariah because of his role in the execution of Jamal Khashoggi. So I believe that they were motivated by money. The price was $120 per barrel in the spring. It fell to less than $90 in September. Although, by the way, if recession hits, then the price could go down even more and they wouldn't see that profit. But in the poll, I'm asking if they were motivated by politics. And a piece that I made reference to earlier that I'll single out again, Nate Cohn, the number cruncher from the New York Times, September 26, meaning, just a few weeks ago, Democratic fortunes have improved markedly over the past few months, with the party overtaking Republicans on the generic congressional ballot in the aftermath of the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. But there's another, simpler explanation for a Democratic turnaround, one that lines up nearly as well as abortion: gas prices. And he's got a chart that's very compelling that shows the relationship between the president's approval and the price of gas. This chart started to speak to me a little bit more over the last few months. Not only did Mr. Biden's ratings fall in the early summer as gas prices surged, but his ratings also began to improve as gas prices dropped. His ratings have leveled out over the last couple of weeks, just as gas prices have started to bottom out. It would probably be a little too clever to go all in on "it's the gas prices, stupid," and dispute the role of Dobbs, the Supreme Court overturning of Roe v. Wade, or Biden's legislative successes in explaining Democratic gains over the last few months. But on balance, the role of falling gas prices has probably been underappreciated. I agree with that. I think this could be a huge issue, and it's just a reminder. I said yesterday, and I said last week and the week before, we have no idea what we'll be talking about in the days right before November 8th. And so, today, a lot of North Korea all of a sudden sending off missiles. This guy needs attention, I think. Little Rocket Man needs attention. But what occurs to me, and this is what I'm driving at with the poll question, is the Saudis, the Russians, because Russia is a member of OPEC Plus, they play that co-leadership role with Saudi Arabia. Who do you think they'd rather have in control? The Democrats and Joe Biden, or Donald Trump? Biden went tail between his legs, the fist bump visit with MBS. Trump was there first out of the gate. That was the first place he went. Do you remember he had his hand on I don't think it's a globe, it's like an orb.
I think it was a globe. Wasn't it like a glowing?
Yeah.
It was glowing.
Yeah.
And they all had their hand on it.
And Jared just got all the funding for, a business venture of his.
Is that a reason for the President Trump not to run again? All the business, or is that a reason to run again? Will they have to untangle themselves from that, or maybe Jared doesn't get involved again?
Yeah, I don't know whether, theoretically, Trump has nothing to do with Jared's business.
Right. That's the question, whether they're all coming back to the White House.
Oh, that's an interesting question. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know. Maggie Haberman's book, I think it was Maggie Haberman's book, suggested that Trump came close to firing Jared and Ivanka.
No way.
Ivanka?
Yes.
Ivanka.
Yeah,
Ivana divorce.
Yeah.
She's gone.
Yeah.
So anyway, the point that I'm making is I think that, look, Putin meddled in the 2016 election to get Trump elected, right? Who do you think Putin would rather have in the White House?
Oh, yeah.
Donald Trump.
Of course.
Who do you think the Saudis would rather have in the White House? Donald Trump. So I'm not so naive as to believe that profit played no role in OPEC doing what they've done, cutting back production to increase prices. But I'm sure they did it to put their thumb on the scale of the American election.
Right.
They want to solidify a Republican takeover of the House, maybe the Senate. I'll speak to that in a moment, and set the stage for Trump to come back. That's what I'm getting at in today's poll question at the all-new Smerconish.com. Tragedy in Thailand. At least 22 children among 34 people killed in a mass shooting at a child care center in northeastern Thailand on Thursday. Horrible story. I referenced North Korea. They launched 2 short-range ballistic missiles toward the eastern waters Thursday after the United States redeployed an aircraft carrier near the Korean peninsula. Great issue for me to discuss tomorrow in hour 2 of the program with the former NATO Allied Commander, James Stavridis, Supreme Allied Commander. I want to ask him about Kim Jong-un and whether this is all just a play for attention. Like, what's the game?
What's going
What's
on?
the angle here of the North Korean dictator?
Can anyone get into his head, though?
I don't know.
If anyone can, it's Admiral Stavridis.
I'm going to ask Admiral Stavridis
Yes.
About that for sure. Biden and DeSantis playing nice
They
in
are
Florida
playing nice.
yesterday.
How about that?
That's a nice thing.
Yeah.
Mr. President, welcome to Florida. We appreciate working together across various levels of government, said DeSantis. Biden responded, Governor and First Lady, thank you very much for the hospitality. Each was complimentary. Oh, I love the nobody fucks with a Biden. Okay? This is like, you know the story. Do we have this audio?
Yeah, hang on, let me get it.
Okay. So this is the president yesterday captured on a hot mic joint press conference. He is speaking to the Fort Myers Beach Mayor, Ray Murphy. To me, this is like Corvette Joe, Aviator Shades Joe, cigs rolled up in a T-shirt Joe is what I think we were getting out of this yesterday. And I have this same nervous tick that he does, TC.
Hang on, I'm pulling the audio. You keep talking.
Okay,
I'll tell you when I have it.
All right. So
what nervous tick?
a
The nervous
tick
tick that
that-
you use the F word?
yeah, if I'm like, and not with women, with men. Like if I meet
Okay,
a
I got
guy
it.
and I'm trying to establish like a little, hey, yeah,
What,
I notice.
you just get salty.
I get salty. I
salty.
notice that, and I catch myself like, why did you do that? You're just
You
trying
don't
to be
even
a
know
tough
who that
guy.
is.
This is Biden being the tough guy.
No one fucks with the Bible.
Yeah, goddamn right.
Oh, you're goddamn right. I get it. Like two guys. Hey, nobody fucks with a Biden.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Is that right?
So this is like you identify with this.
Totally.
Amazing.
Totally.
Amazing.
I'll tell you something else I identify with that you don't know.
Oh.
Yesterday, Kamala Harris was in a not even a fender bender. It was a pop tire, and they had to move her out
Cut
of one
the
car.
curb, right?
Okay. The Secret Service agent driving Harris in an SUV struck the curb of a downtown tunnel hard enough that the vehicle's tire needed to be replaced. Happened to me last Friday.
No.
Yep.
You popped a tire?
Popped a tire.
Where? How?
I
Who?
was leaving the studio post show.
Why is this the first I've heard of this? This is crazy.
Well, first, frankly, what business is it of yours? Okay,
Because
what
it's
business?
great radio. Come on.
So I was
It's
at
Thursday.
I was at an intersection that
The
you would
whole
know.
TC After Dark on that.
I'll explain to you where I was. Nothing
Okay.
nefarious, but I was just making like a turn at an intersection
that
I
you've
probably
done 1,000 times.
Oh my God,
A million
all the-
times.
And I just cut it too close.
Yeah.
And I
Did
thought
you know immediately?
I knew immediately because in my car
Oh,
on
it
my
told you.
my iPad it said pull over immediately.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I pulled over at the hot tub place. Do you know the hot tub place? Do you know where the hot tub place is?
I know exactly where that is.
So I pulled over and then I pulled, right into a space and I went into it. I said to the guy, I said, hey man, I'm really sorry. I have a flat tire and they need to come flatbed me. And he's like, no problem. I'm like, okay, if I ever need a hot
want a hot tub?
if I need a hot tub, I'm coming back to you. So no,
They
he
had
was
to
nice.
flatbed you? Why can't they just change the tire?
Because the rim was also damaged.
Oh, you hit it.
It was a situation.
I hear you.
It was a situation.
I get it.
And I had my car back by the end of the day.
That was nice.
I
of
had
them.
my car back. Thank you, Tesla,
Yeah.
for that.
And then what'd you do? Uber home?
It was bad.
Bad to the city.
It was just bad. Let me just see. I got so many stories in so limited time here. I'm going to pick one more that I
One
want to
more.
say something about.
Go ahead.
Let's see. Time slot for Rachel Maddow. The ratings are way down. Conservative dating app is
Oh,
getting
yeah.
poor ratings.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Very.
We keep threatening to do more
Right,
on that.
you do.
The Rust production, the Alec Baldwin,
Settled.
that's
It's
going to
settled.
pick back
Yeah.
up. Oh, okay. I'll go out on this note. I'll go out on this note.
Okay.
How about the fact that now they're saying, Musk is going to potentially go ahead with this deal. They're still negotiating.
Right.
If they scrap the spam accounts, Justin Bieber will lose $27.6 million.
What?
and Britney Spears will lose the highest percentage, 48% of her $55.8 million.
That is insane.
I expect to lose none or damn few. First of all, I don't have. Do you know how many Twitter followers I have? Could you look it up real quick?
Look it up.
I don't play these games.
Right. You don't buy
Years ago,
buy
and I
followers.
said this on air that someone was wishing to provide me with advice on social media, and they said we can double your following. You're just going to pay for it.
You have 244.5 thousand Twitter followers.
Oh God, can't I get to 250?
That's a lot.
But can't I get to 250?
I think you can now.
Respectability begins at 250.
Like
Would you follow me on Twitter? Follow me on Twitter.
Right.
But I never played those games,
No,
but I
no.
knew that people were playing those games. It never made any sense that, 55.8 million people
Right.
are no way. But by the way, if they know 48% are fraudulent, then why aren't they today flushing them?
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that.
I don't know the answer to that either.
We're about to find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, see many of you in Philly tomorrow at the National Constitution Center for the Unconvention, but everybody's invited. Listen to the program tomorrow, and you will hear me deliver my State of the Union address in the first hour of tomorrow's program, free of any commercial interruption, which is really cool. Go vote at Smerconish.com. Enjoy the new website and check out the merch. See ya.